Welcome to Swansea University and the Cambridge English CELTA Centre English Language Training Services. In this video we will be looking at the fourth of the four assignments that make up the written assignment aspect of the Cambridge English CELTA, and that assignment is Lessons from the Classroom. This assignment has two main elements. Firstly, the development of your self-awareness in terms of your journey as an English language teacher, in which you focus on yourself and your classroom practice in order to identify both your strengths and your weaknesses, those development points that you can improve on during and after the course. Secondly, it's about setting SMART goals, which will help you to work on those identified weaknesses in ways which we hope will be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and relevant, and finally, timely. If we look at the assignment and how it fits into the larger framework of the CELTA programme, you can see that it fits into two main topic areas: planning and resources for different teaching contexts, and then developing teaching skills and professionalism. As with all of the assignments, it's important that you have a clear understanding of the requirements of the assignment. And this is both as true for you as the trainee as it is for us as your CELTA trainers. Please make sure that you understand the assignment requirements and ask us if anything is unclear. It's important to note here that it is not uncommon for trainees to be asked to resubmit at least one of their assignments, so please don't worry if this happens to you. You will be given detailed feedback on all of the assignments that you take, and you will be supported in the case of a resubmission in order to help you to have the best possible chance of passing second time round. So how exactly do we support you? How do we help you with the Lessons from the Classroom assignment here at Swansea University? Well, the first thing to do, as you're doing already, is watch this video, but also to have a good read of the Lessons from the Classroom assignment pack. And we recommend that you have a copy of that by your side as you watch this video, so you can refer to it whilst watching. The first thing to know about are the assignment aims, the assessment criteria, and the word limit, which you can read at the beginning of the assignment pack. Of note here is the word limit, which is 750 to 1,000 words for the entire assignment. But the assignment itself is divided into two parts. Part 1, slightly shorter, we recommend 450 words, and Part 2, which is completed in the second part of the course, which is slightly longer at 550 words. It's also important that you familiarise yourself with the task rubric, as this tells you exactly what is required for you in this assignment. Now, as I've explained already, Lessons from the Classroom is divided into two parts, and let's look at them now. Part 1 is completed in the first half of the course, and this asks you to think about your teaching and that of the other lessons that you observe. Lessons delivered by your fellow trainees, by your course tutors, and any lesson observations that you undertake either live, watching real classes, or on video. In relation to a specific set of prompts which we provide you with, we ask you in Part 1 to comment on your observation of tutors and fellow trainees, and to explain how you intend to use those observations to help you in your own teaching with reference to the specific prompts that we give you. We also ask you to identify 2 strengths and 3 development points, and these are based on the feedback you receive when you teach. For each development point, in turn, you should devise an action plan which will help you to make progress. Part 2 is similar. Again, You comment on your observation of others, of your fellow trainees, of the course tutors and any live or video observations that you've undertaken. We ask you to then explain how these observations will help you in the development of your own teaching. Again, we ask you to identify your strengths, but this time you're not limited to the prompts that we provide in Part 1. You can comment on any aspect of the course that you feel is relevant to your evolving strengths as an English language teacher. In Part B, also, we ask you to think about what happens after the course finishes. We ask you to plan some kind of ongoing development of yourself as a teacher, providing you with some ideas, for example, background reading, peer observations, but it is important in thinking about your progress after the end of the course that you be as specific as possible. As with all of the submissions, all of the assignments that you undertake as part of the Cambridge CELTA on full-time and part-time courses, we also provide you with an assignment checklist, and this is a way in which we help you to make sure that you have covered all of the elements required to pass both parts of lessons from the classroom. Make sure here that you can answer yes to each of the points, Part A, Part B and General. And if you're unsure or uncertain, please ask us. Remember, if any of these areas you cannot answer with a yes, it's likely that this will result in a resubmission. Further support is provided by the assignment guidelines, part of which you can see here on screen. We recommend that you read these carefully and highlight the key information. These cover each element of the assignment. Remember, the observation of tutors and fellow trainees, plus live and video observations, reflection on your own teaching strengths and areas for improvement, taken from a list that you are provided with in Part A, and then in Part B, further comments on your strengths, and then a section in which you comment on your ongoing development as a teacher after the course ends, suggesting how to go about transforming your ideas into a clearly written and succinct reflection. Assignment tips are another important way in which we aim to help you to be as successful as possible. As with all the assignments on the Cambridge CELTA course at Swansea University, we provide you with this list of assignment tips, which is designed to help you avoid the common mistakes made by trainees which lead to a resubmission. Typically, these include the following: insufficient or missing specific examples of your teaching skills based on the observations of peers and tutors, and how to incorporate these into good practice in your own teaching. Secondly, a common problem is the insufficient or insufficiently detailed use of examples which explain your own teaching strengths and weaknesses. Here, we encourage you to talk about particular parts of specific lessons, and it's absolutely fine to mention what you did, but also in the other part of the assignment to mention by name the people that you see teaching, be it your trainers or your fellow trainees. Remember, for Part 1, that you need to write about 2 strengths and 3 weaknesses. Now, for those 3 weaknesses, you need to go on and develop an action plan. And in this part, it's important that you give specific ideas. Another problem is the unrealistic type of self-appraisal that we sometimes read. The trainee who is negative about all aspects of their teaching. Almost every trainee that we encounter has some strengths, and it's important you can recognise these. Being unnecessarily critical and negative about your own performance will not enable you to develop fully. And then finally, for Part B, another area to avoid is the lack of specific examples to illustrate how you intend to go about your ongoing development. So here you should be talking about, for example, background reading, but mentioning some of the books or some of the journal articles that you intend to read. So, for example, a lot of our trainees look at a professional magazine like Modern English Teacher, and here it's helpful to mention the titles to illustrate your ongoing development. We also provide you with an answer booklet. The purpose of this is to help structure your answer and to ensure that each part of the assignment is covered adequately. And remember, 450 words for part A, and then for the part B, which is completed towards the end of the course, 550 words. We hope you found this video useful and that it has given you clearer ideas about successful completion of lessons from the classroom, the fourth assignment of the Cambridge English CELTA. Remember that we have other videos. There are videos which talk in more general terms about the Cambridge English assignments, and again for each assignment a detailed Swansea University ELTS specific video, much like this one, in which we talk you through the particular requirements of the assignment as set by ELTS for your Cambridge CELTA. If this video has encouraged you to think about wanting to apply for one of our courses, or you would like more information, the contact details are provided on this final slide. Many people contact us by email, and our email address is elts@swansea.ac.uk. We've also provided you here with our phone number, plus the contact details for our teacher training coordinator, Peter Neville. Thank you very much.